Thank you.
I can hear this. Yeah. I can put myself out of the spot.
The thing is, this is what got my favorite song.
Really?
I did this because people were listening to this. This is one of the most listened to songs I have. And I always wondered, like, why? So I listened to it one day and I was like, oh, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's going to be my favorite song.
Because it's nasty.
Yeah, I wasn't even talking about that part. Hey, come on in. Welcome to the school. We're chilling with Durant Fiercey today. Gonna get all up in his business.
Oh, Lord. I ain't got no business.
You ain't got no business?
No, I ain't got no business.
Welcome to the school with your girl, Alexis. Again, my co-host is not here today, but she did give me a message to let everybody know. She says hello. She apologized. Durant says hello, Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea. Hey.
Say hi. We are coming to you live from Dallas, Texas. Artworks Academy Studio. I need to give a shout out to my boy Zopo, who allowed us to have the interview here in his studio. So again, we're talking with Durant Fiercey. Durant is a singer, songwriter, and actor. Like, yeah.
I do that.
That's me. I mean, hey, KD. So we're gonna start out talking with Durant about his background. He's gonna tell us where he's from.
You want to stop the music?
I think he had already. Yeah, he was just supposed to turn it down.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I think I just. Boom.
And FYI, that's Durant's song that we're playing in the background. That is a sneak peek that I'm gonna give you out when we're closing. I'm gonna go ahead and play the whole thing, but it's a really nice jam. I told him I could see us dancing to that in the spot, well, like right now, like right tonight. That should be that should be a hit on 104.
Well, you know, cause it's nasty.
It should be. But they only playing nasty music nowadays. That's all. Your music does not qualify to be on the radio unless it's nasty. I mean,
that's
so
what's up.
I'll
take it.
It stinks, but no. But the song is dope. I love it.
Thank you.
Again, we're gonna be talking with Durant. He is going to give us his background. Where he's from, how old he is, how old he was when he started singing, performing, acting. He's gonna give us a look inside of his acting career. In addition to the challenges and the struggles that he had as an actor, we also want to know a little bit about your passion for acting in comparison with your passion for singing.
Okay.
So let's start out with how old are you?
I am 39. I'll be 40 in July.
40 in July, you 39
Yes.
This man don't look a day over
Don't
25.
tell nobody. That's our secret. Yes, I'll be 40 in July.
So are you originally from Texas? Like,
I am. I'm from Omaha, Texas. I don't know if you know that, but that's way down east in the country. So I was born in Mount Pleasant, Texas, which is 20 minutes away from East Texas or Omaha, Texas. Then I lived in Omaha, Texas. Then I moved up here around the time I was maybe in 4th grade.
Okay.
And I've been here ever since. Fort Worth.
So Omaha is pretty slow compared to Texas.
It's only one street. It's like one block. That's all it is. So it's really the country.
I just want to take a walk around the city and go right around the corner.
That's all. And if you want to go to the actual city, you'll have to drive about 20 minutes.
Wow.
So
wow.
Yeah.
So
country boy.
So how old were you when you started doing music? When you realized that you had a passion for music?
I started doing music when I was 4. Actually, I started singing my granny said I started singing at 1, and so she had a videotape or a cassette tape of me singing. Someone lost it when I was 1 year old. I was singing, "I know I've been changed" or something like that. And I was screaming on the tape, and so around 4 is when I started doing the church thing.
Okay.
And so I started trying to play the keyboard around that time, and then I just been passionate about music ever since.
Okay. And you did, but before you started doing the bulk of your music, you started doing shows, live theater, right?
No, actually, I started the music first.
Okay.
And then I used theater as a kind of a catalyst to move to the next level with my music.
Okay.
So originally, I got into theater. First of all, I got into theater 20 years ago. It'd be 20 years this year.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I got into theater in college. When I first got into theater, it was only because I needed an elective. And so I took a musical theater class. and then I kind of got caught by the bug, and then I've been acting ever since. And then around 2005, I started doing music, and then I was doing theater here and there, but not as like full time. And so around maybe 2005, I completed my first EP, The One For Me, and then I needed a way to promote it, so I got back into theater, professional theater, and I thought that was going to be a way for me to promote my music. And we'll talk about that later, but it didn't work out that way.
Side note, me and Durant met in theater.
2006.
Yeah, the Jubilee Theater. Diaries of a Barefoot Diva. That's how we met. So
I don't know who that is.
I had to put it out there because it was really a good show. It was really a good show. I really enjoyed doing that show.
We had some good moments.
We did.
I made 2 friends out of that, you and Shanina. I still talk to Shanina, so.
Well, I'm honored to be considered as your friend. But I do have to ask, so which time was when we actually met at Jubilee Theater? Was that the time that you had, was that the second time, your second coming into the theater? And you had already been making your music prior to?
Well, that was my first professional thing. Everything else was kind of like community. Okay,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Because after that, you went on to do Theater Arlington. You did some things with Denton. You did quite a bit.
Pretty few theaters around here. We don't name the names, but we love everybody. All of them.
Don't want to name the names. Hey, it's Chantel and everybody else who's joining. I'll join in. Stay. We got some treats in. We're gonna listen to some music. We're getting the scoop on the rant. So if you missed it so far, don't worry. We'll be posting it so you guys can go back and watch. So where were you? You were talking about.
So we met at Jubilee Theater.
Yes.
And I don't know if you remember, I had already finished my EP. I actually let you listen to it.
So yeah.
While we were in rehearsal, well, it was backstage. I don't remember if it was a rehearsal or not. And so.
Yeah, because I remember you had started. You did when you can tell this story about the song that you did for you. I think you played the song for your dad. That you wrote for your dad.
Well, it wasn't for my dad. It was for myself. It was like my suicide song.
Yeah.
That's when. Yeah, I did let you listen to that one. But yeah, I don't know if you remember. We were getting paid $15.
Yeah.
But it was exciting that I was doing professional theater.
Yeah. It was.
I felt like it was going to be a way for me to promote the music that I had finished, because I did an EP where I spent all my money for the band, studio time, and all that. And I figured being in professional theater would be something that would have the people more interested in my music, my own personal music.
Absolutely.
And it didn't happen that way. So I kind of got stuck into it, because then I started getting booked shows after shows after shows after shows.
So you got stuck, yeah.
Music got put on the back burner through my whole majority of my theater career.
Yeah, because I know Durant, but he doesn't want to toot his own horn, but I can. You know, that's usually how it happens, right? We allow other people to give us our compliments. But Durant became you became a household name on stage, because everybody, we would be going to the auditions together, and he'll call me, I got the part, and I'm like, I'm still waiting on my call. And everybody loved Durant was just, I mean,
nobody had the energy I had.
Yeah,
nobody.
He had a lot of energy and came and took the spotlight away from everybody when he got on stage.
I didn't really take it because along the lines, they started pushing me back, especially at Jubilee, so I had to branch out of. It was a lot of hatred.
Yeah.
But we love all of them.
But we still love them, yeah. And they didn't stop your shine, no matter how hard they tried.
No, because what I was taught, people, nobody can do what you do. So
exactly.
But it was my fault that I took a lot of it to heart.
Yeah.
So I let a lot of it get me down for a long time. So that's one thing I do regret about all of that.
So in talking about that would serve as one of your challenges that you had during theater. You had a lot of people that, and we don't have to call names, but I mean it's definite that it's factual that you had people that was hating on you and that was making it hard for you to.
It felt like a hazing.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Do you think that actually happening helped you to grow and helped you in your music career as an artist, as a I mean, because most everybody I heard as an independent artist, they're hustling. You know, it's a hustle. Nothing is given to you, especially when you're independent. You don't have a lot. You don't have, well, and I'm not saying because I know you have management, right?
I do have management now, yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to meet him on June 1st.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to.
So how is that, though? Is how has your experience been, you know, coming in to music as an independent artist?
You know, I did it before all of this, downloading and, you know, all the iTunes and all that. So I kind of was doing it. I was one of those people that had CDs in my car and selling CDs out my car.
Right.
So I was putting together music before a lot of people even thought about it. Now everybody's doing it, but
right.
You know, with all that stuff that was going on during that time, it at one point it did make me jaded, and many times I didn't want to do it. A lot of times I didn't want to do it because of that, because of what was going on that me and you know about.
Right, exactly.
So, as far as that, it made me gravitate more to music. It made me more inspired to write more music.
Right.
So, I really got deep into songwriting around that time I got into professional theater. I've always been a songwriter, but it was more important to me.
So the passion for music really outweighed the passion for acting, but you just did the acting as a segue, like kind of like an easy way transition, because of course if you're on enough stages, you're gonna be recognized, and then when that song is you know trending and people are listening to the song and they see the name and they're like, oh okay, yeah he was in, you know, yeah.
I don't know if I got that.
I mean, I
don't know if they got that yet. But.
He's humble, but I really feel like watching me, and I can say this because I've known you, just your whole personality from the time that we were in theater together till you just kind of start doing music full time. I feel like I've seen you blossom, like
really?
Go from one point to another in your confidence level, if nothing else, your confidence level. So that's why I was asking you, do you feel like the struggles that you had as an actor with them trying to, because sometimes when you were in acting and you're doing your thing, or even if you're singing and you're doing your thing and people give you such a hard time or they pass so much judgment, it
was borderline bullying.
Yeah, and it kind of plays on your security level and your confidence level, and if you're not the right person, or if you're not strong enough and you're not headstrong enough, it can kind of cause you to...
And looking at me on the outside, you would think I was the weak one, because I was very timid back then.
Yeah.
I was timid, but internally I was tougher than they could imagine, because I kept doing it.
Yeah.
I kept doing it.
You kept going back. Yeah, because I can remember you being on the phone like, I don't know if I'm going to do
back then I think
I'm getting ready to stop. I think this is my last show. And I'm like, Durant, what was your last show about?
That's
10
true.
shows ago.
It's every show is like the last one.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's kind of like the last one, because I'm like, I'm going to cuss these motherfuckers out.
Every other day.
Back then I'd be like, this is going to be my last show. They're hurting my feelings. Now I'm just like, I'm going to cuss every single one of these motherfuckers.
Every show was Durant's last show. Every time we were on the phone, he was ready to cuss somebody out.
And the funny thing is, I never wanted to be the star of the show. I never wanted to be the star. But the more shows I kept getting cast in, especially at Jubilee, they kept pushing me back to the back. To the back. And then it got to the point where I know that it fucked a lot of them up, because they would give me parts that were so small, and then my parts would stand out with the crowd. And then,
you're going to make your part stand out. No matter what your part was, you're going to do something.
No, I don't know if I'm that great now, but it's been a while. But yeah, I'm going to do what I can, because I have a different love for it. It's not about being seen on stage. It's because I do it because I actually love to do it. Yeah. And so if I have a character that's this small, I'm going to do some research on that character in my head. Like, who is this character? I'm going to make up who this character is, and I'm going to go in with a purpose. I'm going to walk out with a purpose, and so everything else is just going to flow the way it's supposed to. I don't worry about, I want to get the most laughs. I want to sing the best songs, and I want to sing the lead. I don't get into all that, but a lot of people do, and that's kind of where we have clashes in theater. It's a lot of egos around here. Period.
Yeah.
So, but you know.
They feel like you're still in their shine, and they got a point to make, and they're going to do anything to get their point across.
A lot of them do get their shine. And I mean, I can appreciate that. Yeah. It's not the way
and like I said before, it's enough light for everybody to shine. It's enough light for everybody to shine. It's not. It should have never been a situation to where they were making anybody, let alone, because we can talk about my experiences, but that's another show.
Yeah, it was it was an experience, but it's all good. But then when it comes to all of that, it has made me a stronger personality when it comes to performing on stage. Like the only fear that I have going on stage now is my voice. How is my voice gonna be? Everything else, like being nervous about the crowd and all that stuff, it's like I done been called every single name outside of a child of God, so all that don't matter.
Right.
It just matters that I do the best that I can and give what I can to the folks that are watching.
Right.
So that's the only thing that really makes me nervous now. So yeah, it did make me a little stronger, a little tougher.
I get that. And let's talk about your music, all of the, the different types of music you've done, some of your best pieces of work, your masterpieces, so to speak, that you feel like it, huh?
I just spit on you. It's all good. So you said some of my masterpieces?
Yeah, like you probably feel like everything that you put together is a masterpiece. What
No,
are
I don't.
some of your favorites? Because I want to say my favorite was the Trust song. The song, you had a video with it, and I might be naming it wrong.
Are you
But
talking
you did
about No Pressure?
Not No Pressure.
Okay.
It was the one that you were talking about, the
abuse.
The abuse.
The
That
first
one.
time. Yeah.
The first time. Their first time. Yeah. I called it the try to name it wrong. But what inspired you to write that one?
The first time is the song on my Crash EP. It was actually the first song. It was actually the first song I wrote for that EP. Well, at first, when I did the EP Crash, I was going through a little trial and error. I guess we'll get into that later. Kind of a little breakup. And I just kind of started making music to kind of just, heal myself. And so I was adamant I wasn't doing an album. I'm just doing music because this is what
I Rovina.
And so that was the first song that I wrote, like I said. But that one was inspired by a few childhood memories that I had.
Okay.
And so growing up, I've always had an issue with love because when I've grown up, I've seen women get abused. And even in the song, the first time I talk about an abuse situation that I saw with a family member, I don't want to say who it is, who got beat by a person that I knew, and a family member. And I saw him, myself, as a kid, just kicking her in the face, and he had these pointy cowboy boots, and he was just kicking her in the face, and I was trying I just remember trying to protect her. And that's the thing about when I get sad, a lot of memories come back.
Yeah.
And sometimes those memories come back, and then I'm inspired to write something, or sometimes I just go through a few days of depression.
Yeah.
And so I had one of those days where I kind of kept having nightmares about that in 18. Kept having nightmares about it, and then I just kind of, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I got my phone and just started singing and crying on the phone, and just kind of recounting that situation. I remember seeing her get abused and trying to protect her and screaming because I was like 5 or 6 or something like that.
My goodness.
And I remember that person, the guy, he threw me over the counter or whatever, and she was like, Durant, just go. And I remember all that was just screaming in my head that night.
Goodness.
So then on that song, in the second verse, I go into a part where it was a situation where I was abused. But I only get into the details of the fact that I was pushed down some stairs. And so the song is pretty much talking about how all those things kind of, they clogged my memory or gave me this notion that love is not real.
Yeah.
But I'm at a point now where I feel like, okay, maybe I am ready to explore it, even though it scares me because I've seen all this, I've been through all this, I've witnessed all this.
Right.
So that's one of the hardest songs actually for me to listen to and perform.
Wow. And that's deep. And I wanted to, and believe me, I wanted to get into some more. And it's crazy that I thought that was, when I was listening to it, that was my favorite. But he had so many songs that are just really good. And before we close out, we're going to give you guys information on where you can find his music, how you can order. But I want to use that as a segue into a little bit of your personal business, because don't forget that you gave us authorization to get the scoop on the personal, and then we'll go back to a couple more of your songs, because I know all of your songs were inspired by event, right, or some type of feeling or some type of experience, right?
A lot of the personal songs, like The First Time and something like Black Lives Matter,
right,
those are inspired by situations. But there are songs like No Pressure that weren't necessarily inspired by a situation. It was just, and even Summer Fling. It wasn't inspired by a situation because I've never had a summer fling. I've never done any one night stands, none of that. No, but Summer Fling actually, because the guy who did the music, he titled the song Fall Fling. And I was like, oh, this could be, when I heard it, I thought summer, so that's how that was inspired. So some are, 98% of them are based on, you know, my situation.
Okay. Which that's usually how it is with artists. A lot of music artists, they write based on what they experience and their stories. Their songs tell a story. So with your personal, we were talking and you mentioned that experience kind of formed your own, helped you form your own